All right, we're going to jump back to the KVL with the Piper Pirates. The Pirates are coached by new head coach Morris Letcher. Last year, Piper went 15-7, 9-5 in the KVL. So let's welcome the Pirates of Piper.
How you doing? Coach Morris Letcher, it's my first year at Piper. Previously spent in Summer Academies program 15 years. Took a season off last year. Didn't plan on coaching again, but due to the late leaving of Steve Wallace to girls KU head assistant basketball coaching job, I was able to get the job and come right in and start coaching. Man, we're sitting good, I think. I'm in a great position. Nobody knows what to expect from Piper because of all the seniors that we had last year. We had 9 seniors on the team, played 7 most of the season with a couple of underclassmen. So it's just what you get from whoever you can get some film from is what you'll have on Piper. Very excited, got a good guy, energy, bunch of kids. I think the one thing with the hiring of me, I don't have to come in and know the kids. Since I had a kid in the program and I've been living in the program, in the community for 8 years, I pretty much know all the kids. So it was basically a smooth transition, and I think that plays well with their trust in me as a person. You don't have to feel the coach out. You know him, you've seen him coach in times past. So I think that's a benefit for us. We bring back 2 guys from last year's team, Vince Esquina, which he couldn't be here for family gathering, and Colton Beebe. I didn't bring him because he's getting enough pub with football. So I thought I passed the love around. But we bring those two good foundation kids back. Vince is a high-level energy kid. He's a Mocan kid, played a lot of high-level basketball. He can score. He can rebound. I call him a trash man. But he's a kid that likes to listen, likes to work hard. Colton Beebe, football player playing basketball, but he can give you good toughness, rebounding. He's just a good kid. So that's what we bring back. To my right, I have Trayvon Jones. He'll be a senior. He's a senior this year. Suited up varsity, but he didn't get to play a lot of varsity last year because of the 9 seniors. And then I have Jordan Guess. He's also a senior. Trayvon he'll be one of my point guards. Trayvon and J.J. Letcher plays point primarily, and as of right now, we'll probably rotate them. They're pretty even. He looks like my son, but he's not my son, so they're about the same size. They get after you. It's going to change a little bit. We saw by Friday with the new rules with refereeing. They pretty much called everything, so you got to learn to adjust to your game, but that's what you got to do anyway. So we'll figure it out. We have Jordan Guess. He's my 2-3. He can shoot. He can get to the basket. If I can just get him to play aggressive, knowing that he can score it at will. And that's what we're working on as a team. Like I said, I have Vince. Vince averaged about 14 points a game last year. Colton Beebe, I think he averaged about 6 points a game. So with that group, we bring in the unknown. So that's where we're at.
How would you describe as a head coach, what you're planning to do in terms of a philosophy or style of play that we'll get from Piper?
Okay, well, style of play is we want to speed the game up. We have pieces with shooters, but I'm a defensive guy. I like to pressure the ball a lot, fill the passing lanes, help side. I was texting one of my kids, Matt Apple, last night. He texted me about defensive issues, and I was trying to explain to him what I expect because he's kind of having a tough time with it. And back in the old days, we thought man-to-man was you just hold your man, and man-to-man isn't just hold your man. And a lot of kids don't understand that, especially if they're not in a good foundational AAU basketball program. So when they get to a program that's teaching true man-to-man, they have a hard time with it because it's a lot of rotation, it's a lot of feeling, and things like that. It's constant. You have to constantly think. So we want to speed it up, but we can shoot too. So, like I said, we have to adjust to whatever the game allows us to have and allows us to play at that certain time and that night.
So we know you from your many years as top assistant over at Sumner for a while. How much you kind of bring in your own system? Or are you doing quite a few of the similar things you did over there as lead assistant?
We're bringing in some similar things, a lot of things. That's the funny part. I did 10 years as an 8th grade coach at Sumner and didn't really want to go into the varsity level, and Parr talked me into it. And so I kind of brought some things from what I was bringing into his program with pressing and zone play. And so that's the style that works for me. We got similar pieces, likened to Sumner. So that's what I'm going to bring to Piper.
Jordan, talk a little bit about, taking over some leadership role. I see you guys kind of spread the ball around the other night. A lot of people, different people scoring. You showed up pretty well in the score box. Talk a little bit about your role this year in taking over and be a leader on the team.
My role is basically just do what I need to do to get my teammates open and score when I have to. And most of the time I'll be guarding one of the best players, like tall, small forward type players. So I have to focus on defense a lot and make sure that I can control that player during the game.
Trayvon, talk a little bit about the extended role that you have to play this year, and I guess sitting behind so many people last year. What do you take from that experience? That sitting and watching and getting that experience. What do you bring to the court this year?
Sitting behind Tyler Owens and Luke Long and all the other guards last year, it helped me out with my defense and controlling players so they don't blow past me. And now in this year, my role is stop the best point guard, the shooting guard, facilitate for my teammates, and make sure keep the ball moving.
Both you guys were on the football team. Talk a little bit about transitioning. We talk about this team every year with Piper doing good at football. How do you guys transition it over to the basketball court to keep getting that same success?
Hard work. That's really it.
It helps us because we're already in shape, so we got all that running, and we're just ready to play basketball right after that. We just need to get more. We still got the aggressiveness for football, and we're ready to play basketball.
Coach, what have you been impressed with through the first few weeks of practice and getting your first game out the way? What's impressed you the most so far, and what do you see immediately that you're we need to get this fixed right away?
What impressed me is the energy. I guess I wasn't too surprised since I know the kids. I mean, they've been gravitating to me, asking questions. Nobody complains too much. You got underclassmen complaining because, of course, everybody think they should freaking play varsity. So, but for an example, I let JJ start. JJ earned the position to start the first game. This game, Trayvon to start. So it's good to have that interchange, and where he didn't have an attitude, he was like, I understand, Coach, I'm just ready to go. So that's been real surprising. And I try to push that with the kids. A lot of times with underclassmen and underclassmen parents, they're impatient. They want the glory now. And so just trying to get everybody on the same page. It's a blessing and a curse to come from Sumner, wins 2 state titles with Parr, because being that we play most of our sub-states in Piper, they got to see that style of play in Piper. So, of course, everybody wanted that play out there. So, but you have to have pieces. Everybody didn't have a Benny Parker or Maurice Holliday or Vernon Vaughn. Those were all Division I basketball and football players. So, those are pieces that you have to have. And just like with our schedule, we, no disrespect to anybody, but we didn't open up with Kansas City Christian. We opened up with a bona fide 6A contender, preseason contender, Shawnee Mission East. We opened up, we played Tuesday, we played Ottawa, which brings everybody back. They were 18-4 last year. After that, we played Baser. They went to the state playoffs and went to state last year. So, and then we end with Bonner before the Christmas break. So we don't have the luxury to, the plush games. We got to be ready to go and just learn as we go. And that's fine. I have no problem with that because we want to play our best basketball in February.
So I had no idea who Matt Apple was, but he led you guys in scoring. Talk a little bit about him, what position he plays, and, a little bit about him.
No, that's fine. Matt Apple, he's a two guard. He can handle the ball a little bit. He's a shooter. If Matt Apple leads us in scoring, we're going to have a problem the rest of the year. What happened was Vince Esquina had a terrible game. He was in foul trouble and had 3 fouls in the second quarter. right when we was about to pull him out, he picked up his third foul. He just never got into the rhythm of the game. And due to the new, fouls that they're calling with hand check, I mean, you touch him, it's a foul. And that's just something we just got to adjust to. We never really got into a rhythm after that. And so being that this is a new team, people have to step up. If Vince gets in trouble, Jordan has to step up. If Trayvon gets in trouble, JJ has to step up. So, but Matt Apple, I'm fine with that too, but he has to pick it up because he's a different type of player than we're used to having and the type of style that I want to play. He's more of a slow, set picks for, get an open shot for. These guys, we get after it, offensively and defensively. So that's who Matt Apple is.
So last question, talk a little bit about balancing, first year head coach, your son's on the team. How do you balance being a parent and a coach at the same time?
Well, the good part about it is I watched all last year, and I could have bashed the coach. Me and Steve Wallace, we were pretty good friends. I've coached my son before. I coached him all the way until the 7th grade, I believe. I coached him with Mocan's organization also. So I was probably hard on my son through the years than I am now. I'm older now. I'm wiser now, so you learn from your mistakes. And it's no problem, man. He asked me the other day, what do I want him to call me? I said, you call me daddy. I'm your daddy. If that's what you want to call me, but you can call me coach. So everybody understands. In the community, they know I'm a fair person. There's no favoritism. I get on him, and I get on them just like they're my sons. I tell them like it is. I don't cuss at them and dog them out, but they know I treat everybody fair, and I think they can stand up for that. Ain't that right? Excuse me? No. Yeah, so, yeah. All right. Hey, thank y'all, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate that.